Talking truth. Is anyone starting to feel that bringing truth to the world could very well be their own life purpose too? Getting there, some of you? Not sure? Not sure? Yep. Well, what I'm going to be demonstrating today is what becomes possible when you continue this training and you go even further. And when the more you clear within yourself, the more beliefs you clear, or what we call mind lies, the less mind lies you have, the more open you become to receive new levels of truth. The more your abilities increase. So it's one of those most worthwhile activities that when you're going, what should I do today? I know, I'll clear some beliefs. I'll clear some mind lies. Because the more you do, the more your life expands. So what I'm going to be demonstrating is what becomes possible when you can get over that you cannot contribute to somebody. And that's what I'm feeling from a lot of you who kind of hesitantly put up your hand was, yeah, I could kind of see that delivering truth might be my life purpose, but who am I to do that? Who fits in that category? Who am I to deliver truth to others? My life's a shambles. Yeah. So during the course of today, you're going to actually get to see that your life isn't a shambles at all. The simple fact you are here. Now, how is that a life in a shambles? Somebody who is dedicated to cleaning up the past and to learning to make decisions from truth rather than mind lies. That is anything but a life in shambles. So what you're learning in these 2 days is very advanced, but at the same token, it's also the very tip of the iceberg about what's possible. So when we take you into the advanced training, wow, a whole new level becomes available. So let's demonstrate some of that. So who are we going to have first? Do we do life purpose? I think we're going to have a life purpose volunteer. Who is that?
Me.
Who's me? Come up here, Keisha. Please welcome Keisha. Hello.
I have to face the audience? Or...
You can face me.
Okay.
You can knock over microphones, face me, whatever it takes. Now, the reason I want you all to applaud Keisha is because this is highly confronting. Oh, no, I can't have you over there. I'm getting the no from our cameraman. Come closer. Snuggle with me.
Oh. Sorry, Sonia.
This is... she's a little bit nervous, aren't you?
Yeah.
Just, whoa, a little bit here. So let's just...
And I didn't wear makeup, so I'm probably really red.
You look beautiful.
All right. So what we're going to do, Keisha, is look within to your life purpose. Now, yesterday I mentioned that life purpose is not an activity, but a state of being, an energy. And it's your energy. Your true nature is your life purpose. So as we advance in our skills and abilities, we're able to access that part of anyone. And in this case, it's going to be Keisha. Now, Keisha's mind, or if you like to call it the ego, wants to come in and she's going to fight me a little bit on this. So you're going to watch this kind of tug of war of me going for truth and her throwing non-truth at me and all this. This is going to be this little dance. All right, and this is why I want someone on Keisha detail clearing this ego off her so this can be a very smooth journey for her. So who do we have? Nithya, would you be so kind? We've got Beck. Oh, we've got all these. We have Beck and Nithya. Yes, that would be good.
Both go for
that
it.
should do it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to elevate beyond my own mind because this is where everything becomes possible to access that part of Keisha that has all the answers. So the first part I'm going to do is just check Keisha's readiness because we always say we want our life purpose, but I guarantee nearly every single one of you has a reason why not to live your life purpose, why you don't want to know what it is. So let's just see what's going on with Keisha. Okay, what's coming up, and I'm going into the subconscious mind here, and the subconscious is beyond just this physical. It kind of emanates like a field. It's energy. When we have thoughts, they emanate outward. So in Keisha's field, in the subconscious mind, she's showing me about 3 beliefs, 3 mind lies in the way of her living her life purpose. And the first one that shows up is, yeah, but I don't want to ruffle anyone's feathers if I'm doing that. You feel that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else feel that within themselves? Who am I to live my life purpose at the expense of anybody else? Yeah? But you can see in an instant a mind lie. Why would your life purpose be at the expense of somebody else? Let me give you an analogy here. Life purpose is as much within us as it is in the natural world. Is it at the expense of a bee making honey if a spider spins its web? No. It's all complementary. It's an ecosystem. Your life purpose is as much a part of the ecosystem, if not more, than what is happening in our natural world. We are part of this earth and we fit into the ecosystem. Currently not so well. But this is why we are here presenting this workshop. So we can all, as humanity, add, complement, and improve on the ecosystem. So think of your life purpose as your fundamental role in that ecosystem. Now, the beautiful thing about that, about living your life purpose, is that if you support the whole supports you. This is why we experience struggle and lack and scarcity in our life, is because we're absolutely denying our life purpose to ourselves. And the earth is saying, I'm just mirroring it back to you. You're denying it, I'm denying you. The more we embrace it, the more the earth embraces us and says, yeah, I'll bring you right into the flow. Because you look at nature, the earth supports everything. There's enough of everything to be supported. So we look at Keisha, and we're just going to go now into where the truth exists and just say, okay, is she ready to hear some truth? Now, based on what I've said about the ecosystem, she's starting to feel a little bit more malleable, that her life purpose will not be at the cost of her children or somebody else. But as I'm saying this, she's kind of throwing a new one at me in that, well, I don't want to be criticised if I'm out there living my life purpose. There's this fear of confrontation. There's this fear of being called on. Who are you to be great? Who are you to be a someone? You feel that?
Yep. Definitely.
All that stuff comes from mum and dad. That's where Keisha's come from. Who do you think you are, young lady? All those phrases.
Sounds familiar.
Yes, it does indeed. And she's just showing them in me. I'm seeing it as feelings, as pictures. It's very clear. I've been doing this a very long time, so it's very clear to me. So let's just bring some truth into the space. Now, the first thing that Keisha needs to know is those who are opposed to her greatness, and apply this to yourselves, those who are opposed to her shining and radiating her light were opposed not because she shouldn't be shining, but because they were denying themselves. Who are you to shine your light when I refuse to shine my light? That's the subtext. That's why we have the beliefs we have. We've taken them on from other people. Not because they were true, but because that other person was like, I can't let you love your life when I hate my life, even if you are my beloved daughter. Beloved daughter.
Not so beloved.
Yeah, well.
Pain in the ass, more like it.
There's a few beliefs there, isn't there? There's a few mind lies that we're going to get through. So let's bring in some truth here. So that was the first one, is that it wasn't your truth not to live it, and it wasn't even their truth not to live it. They just chose not to.
Yep.
They had their own fears about being confronted, criticised and condemned. And then a lot of parents, they give that to the child. It's like, I'm going to protect you. You don't want to be criticised and condemned. It's better to live a shit life. Much better to live a really crappy, unfulfilling life than anyone criticise and condemn you. Better you condemn yourself. That way you'll never get hurt. And you laugh. This is what we've got going on. If I protect myself, if I fail myself, if I reject myself, if I humiliate myself and deny myself my greatness, you can't do it to me. It's a protection. But how self-defeating. You don't get to be great. in anticipation of some mystery person who was never going to criticize you in the first place, right? So let's bring some truth back to Keisha here. What does she really need to know? We go into a space of truth. She's starting to feel a little bit more open to me. Let's have a look at the exact truth. Your children depend on you living your truth so they know how to live their truth. Just let that sink in. It's going down her spine, going into her stomach, going into her hips. How's that feel?
Good.
She's stronger now. She is getting stronger. Great. So what we get to see is, the reason many of you are in here is because you need to stop what's happened through your generational lineage. Beliefs are being passed down and down and down and down, and that's why history repeats itself. Because we all give the next generation the same beliefs that created the previous outcome. And that's what keeps happening. So as you shift your beliefs, you're ensuring that the next generation doesn't go through the same experiences. Could be illness, it could be war, it could be racism, sexism, could be anything at all. But all these beliefs, if we're able to clear them within ourselves, then our children don't repeat all those patterns. It's a big one for Keisha because Keisha's very protective over her children. She may think that she's not a good mother, which is what she does think. But just being in here makes her the best mother in the world for her children. Because if she's not in here, she's going to keep continuing these beliefs that she got, pass them on without even being aware of it. So let's bring some more truth very quickly to Keisha. What else does Keisha need to know so she can move forward and be free to live her life purpose? She has a belief in there that says, my children aren't ready for me to live my life purpose. And that's kind of entangled with, I will mean more time away from them, more time neglecting them. I'll be focused on other things. See what the mind does? Tricks you into all these excuses and reasons why not to be on path. But the truth for Keisha needs to realize is that changing her children's belief systems is your life purpose. That's it.
Awesome.
If that's all you ever do for the rest of your life, that is a life very well lived. Can you feel that?
Yeah. Been a long time. Many, probably past lives even, I think. Yeah.
Okay, let's just feel that in. Letting it in a little bit. The only thing that's a little bit of resistance in there is, I don't really know how to do that yet. That's what's going on there. That's why we haven't felt this huge release just yet. Oh, it sounds good, but I'm not the person for the job. So let's bring the truth that's required to have this land. And when you bring in truth, you'll feel a shift. That's what you're going for, is a release in the body. You just feel, oh, yep, that hit the spot. You'll feel it when you get there. There's no mistaking it. And I can feel within Keisha whether she's gotten there, and she's kind of 75%. She's fluctuating between 50 and 75%. So who's on Keisha detail, please? Keep this ego out of the way. Thank you. What does Keisha need to know to fully integrate this new truth? She already has the ability to shift their beliefs. She just needs to remember it. And that is what's going to happen by the end of today.
Cool.
As you learn to connect to your truth, that is all you need to know to help your children. Can you get that?
Yep.
All right, beautiful. She's still a little at 90% now. So what needs to happen for that to be fully integrated is less from me and more from her. As she completes this afternoon's activity, which is connecting to your own truth, she'll have everything she needs. Job done. That's her life purpose, ready to go.
Cool. Thank
Can
you.
we give her a huge round of applause for being so brave? You're welcome. See, we set it up in our mind that our life purpose has to be, building empires and curing cancer and all these things. But for many of us, it is as simple as being loving with our children or loving with ourselves. Now, interestingly enough, what becomes possible as Keisha embraces that aspect of her life purpose, being loving and helping clear the beliefs within her children, a whole new realm of possibilities begin to open up for her. Not that she's ready to let them in yet, but this is step one of understanding her life purpose. She can't quite let in the full scope of it, as neither can anyone else in this room, right? Because what's available to you is so much bigger than what our beliefs will allow in at the moment. Don't make yourself wrong for that. It's just all the programming just says my life can only be this big and that's what it's going to be, or this big, or this big. But the more you clear, the more that vision, the bigger things can get. Okay? So when you're allowing in your life purpose, be open and trusting to that you're being shown what you can let in at the moment. And that's perfect. And that's all that Keisha needs to know at this point. But actually, if that's all she spent her life doing, and that two beautiful children were out in this world without belief systems, they can change consciousness by changing their own mind. And I've been shown that countless times with what we do. If I didn't run any events, and if I didn't write any more books, if all I did was focus on my children, they will change the world. It's not up to me. They will do it, and they will just blink and everything will change. Because when you're without this labyrinth of belief systems, you affect this reality so much faster and so much more powerfully. But when you are stuck in the mind, there's all these delays to bring in a new reality. You're bumping into this wall, that wall, doubt, fear, all these blockages. But without beliefs, it's a whole new game. You can change and manifest so much faster.